The sky in 2002 was a heavy gray blanket. It was summer, but the air felt thick, waiting. I was a girl then, knees always scraped from playing outside. I sat on the porch swing, feet dangling, listening to the silence. Even the birds were quiet. They knew what was coming. The wind whispered through the oak leaves, telling secrets about the rain. My grandmother hummed in the kitchen, the smell of baking bread mixing with wet earth. The sky darkened to a bruised purple, beautiful and scary. I waited, not afraid, just curious. The first raindrop hit my forehead, cold and sudden. Then more until the air was full of fat drops drumming on the porch roof. The quiet vanished, replaced by the storm's rhythm. I closed my eyes and listened to the rain story. My grandmother called me inside, her voice gentle but firm. I wanted to stay, to feel the wild wind and watch the trees dance. The storm felt alive, powerful, and I was part of it. The wind tossed my hair, the trees shouted, and the world felt electric. This was more than rain. It was something ancient and alive. I lingered on the edge, caught between safety and wonder. The storm was a show, and I didn't want to miss a moment. My grandmother's call pulled me back, but the memory stayed. That day, I learned storms could be both frightening and beautiful. I learned to listen, to watch, to feel the world's wild heart. The storm passed, but its lesson lingered. I was changed even if I didn't know it yet. The world felt bigger, and so did I. And I knew I'd never forget the storm of 2002. Thunder cracked, making me jump. The porch shook, my heart racing with the storm's song. I gripped the swing's chains, half scared, half thrilled. Lightning flashed, turning night into day for a heartbeat. Every leaf, every blade of grass glowed white, then vanished into darkness. Thunder boomed overhead, the sky splitting open. My grandmother joined me, silent, her arm warm around my shoulders. Her calm made me brave. We watched the storm together, lightning painting her face in brief, bright strokes. The fear faded, replaced by awe. The storm was both terrifying and magnificent. I felt small, but connected to everything. The rain fell in silver sheets, thunder rolling, lightning dancing. With my grandmother beside me, I learned storms weren't just noise and light, they were feelings. That night, the storm changed me. It taught me to watch, to listen, to find wonder in the wild. I understood that beauty and fear could live side by side. The storm was a teacher, and I was its student. I carried that lesson with me long after the rain stopped. The world was bigger, and so was my courage. I was ready for whatever storms would come next. Years passed, I grew up, but the memory of that porch swing stayed with me. June 5th, 2010. I lived in a city apartment now. The sky outside looked familiar, heavy, purple, storm on the way. I watched from my window as rain began to fall, tapping a rhythm I remembered. Thunder rumbled, not frightening, but full of memory. I closed my eyes and was a child again, waiting for the show. The storm felt like a message from the past. My phone buzzed, a text from Maya. "Are you seeing this? Another? Look at the old library." I peered through the rain. The library down the street, long closed, glowed with a strange, steady light in an upper window. It wasn't lightning, it was something else. Warm, pulsing, mysterious. My heart pounded not with fear, but curiosity. The storm of my childhood had taught me to watch, to wonder. This new light felt like a challenge. The city was blurred by rain, but the library stood out, calling to me. I felt the old pull, the need to understand, to step into the unknown. The storm outside was wild, but inside me, a different storm was brewing. I knew I had to go. The lessons of the past were guiding me. The storm was more than weather, it was an invitation, and I was ready to answer. I grabbed my raincoat, my grandmother's courage echoing in my mind. Storms weren't for hiding, they were for facing. This storm was different. It was about the mystery glowing in the old library. The rain was cold, the wind fierce, but I pressed on. The city was empty, everyone else inside, but I felt drawn forward. Lightning lit my path, thunder urging me on. The library's golden light grew brighter as I approached. It was steady, hopeful, a secret waiting to be discovered. I remembered the wonder of childhood storms. This was that feeling, magnified. The storm had prepared me for this moment. At the iron gates, I found a small gap, just wide enough to slip through. It felt like an invitation. The rain poured, thunder shook the ground, but all I saw was that light. The storm had brought me here for a reason. I stepped through the gate, heart pounding. The world outside faded, the mystery inside pulled me closer. I was ready to find out what waited in the light. The storm was no longer something to fear, it was a guide. I slipped through the gate, the library grounds wild and dark. The building loomed, ancient and alive in the storm. I found a side door, old and heavy, but it opened with a groan. The storm seemed to push me inside. I entered the quiet dark, the air thick with the scent of old paper. The storm's roar faded, replaced by a peaceful hush. I stood still, surrounded by sleeping books and endless stories. Fear vanished, replaced by purpose. I was a visitor, not an intruder. I moved toward the light, up a grand staircase, each step brighter. The golden glow spilled down to meet me. The chaos outside was gone. Inside, there was calm and destiny. The storm had opened a door, both real and imagined. I was exactly where I needed to be. The mystery was close now, just ahead. I reached the top, heart full of wonder. The storm had led me here, to this moment. I was ready to see what waited in the light. At the top of the stairs, I found a small reading room, lantern glowing on a table. An old man sat beside it, smiling as if he'd been waiting for me. He was the old librarian, keeper of the light. He came back during storms, lighting the lantern as a beacon for anyone lost or searching. We sat together, watching rain streak the window, sharing quiet comfort. The storm outside was wild, but inside there was peace. I understood. The storm of 2002 was a lesson, not just a memory. It taught me to see beauty in fear, to be brave and curious. The storm tonight was a beginning, not an end. It connected my past and present, leading me to this magical place. Storms, literal and metaphorical, are signposts in life. They push us, change us, open doors we never expected. That night, I walked home in gentle rain, changed. I was no longer just a girl who liked storms. I was someone who knew you have to walk into the heart of the noise to find the quiet, beautiful light. Storms show us who we are. They remind us to be brave, to listen, to wonder, and sometimes they lead us exactly where we need to go.